Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 46 of the Lorethrough. I might be getting some of these numbers mixed up. I finally took a moment and labeled all the episodes I've recorded today already, so hopefully I'll be a little more consistent with that, but I guess it doesn't matter too much in the scheme of things. So last time, we ended the episode by talking to Patches, and he mentioned the iron abductor virgins, and how we should go get caught in one. And he says it'll bring us to the foot of the Erd tree, and he recommended that if we meet a girl named Raya, we should say hello and help her out. So it seems interesting that a skeevy man like himself would recommend that we help somebody out. On our way over here, though, we see another one of these telescopes. There's not too many. I should really figure out where they all are, because I only really remember 2, maybe 3 of these suckers. But they're neat, because you take a look at them, and it puts you way up high in the sky. There's Patches, there's the octopus, there's the gazebo that's right next to us. We can even see a coast running into it right there. Crystals, trees, ruins. A Dan Thief of Fire. His Everjail's over there. There's Stormvale. Divine Tower. There's the church building that we don't know where it's at. Hold on. I have a cat who's complaining. What's going on? Sorry about that. As per the new living arrangement, there's a small tabby cat who's really old. He's a cute little guy. He's a pygmy or something, so he's not like a full-size cat, but he's really old, and he's small, and he gets loud when he's hungry, so I had to make sure he was fed. So, if we continue with our observations, we see a minor Erd tree over there, the Academy of Rhea Lucaria, the beautiful night sky, the Carrion Study Hall. That's what that was called, right? Yeah. Carrion Study Hall. So maybe I should say it's a study place for the Carrions, not necessarily the Academy of Rhea Lucaria. I always considered one to be the off-campus location of the other, but that's probably not accurate. It's probably for the Carrions. So let's go to this gazebo.
Hello.
And we...
Hello? Please. Over here.
She says hello from a good distance off, and here we have a bizarre statue. We don't see many of it. It's a statue and a symbol of worship, not of the Erd tree, but of a different civilization. But let's see what she has to say. Well, let's take a
Hello?
look at her first.
Hello.
Oh, she'll keep saying
Right
that, won't
over
she?
here.
So she's got a mole, blonde hair, gamer neck, real bad. Look at that. Oh, hunched forward horribly. The posture makes her seem like an old woman, but looking at her features, she may not be that old. Not way in wrinkles. She looks fairly young, actually, though not becoming like we would consider. She's rather, I'd say plain, but she's obviously wearing makeup. But let's say hi to her.
Hello. It's rather chilly here, isn't it? My mistress sent me off on an errand, but I was accosted by a ruffian, and now I'm in a bind. Could I ask you lend a hand? Perhaps. That thug made off with a precious necklace. I need someone to retrieve it. Only, he too is tarnished. If you've any qualms confronting your own, I shall find another.
We will hear her request.
Oh, thank you dearly. What a blessing that we've met like this. The thug should be resting at an abandoned home down the way. Please, I must have the necklace back. The thug should be resting at an abandoned home down the way. Please, I must...
Okay. So she wants us to investigate a home down the way, and we will do precisely that. But first we're going to make our way towards that ruin, which I think is on our way anyways, so here we go. Yeah. I recall now. So we get near this at nighttime. My goodness, we've already taken care of half the boss fight. Bonk! I might have peaked there with the volume. That was a little loud. I just got excited. But Something about crunching the big bone head of that thing was very satisfying. So we saw another one of those deathrite birds, and it gave us the red feather branch sword. So now we have both. So here we have the blue one. Here we just got the red one. A talisman adorned with red feathers, once used in ancient death rituals, raises attack power when HP is low. The heart sings when one draws close to death, and a glorious end awaits those who cling so tenaciously to life. So those are good talismans, mostly because that if you find yourself at low health, below 20% I believe is the marker, then you should slap that sucker on there, and it will give you boosted defense and boosted attack. And Ensha, who we slayed earlier when dealing with Nefeli Lu's quest line in part, he invaded us in the Round Table Hold. He was this skeleton man. I'm looking at his headpiece now. It slowly replenishes your HP when your HP is at a low amount, and I believe your HP will replenish up to 18% of your cap, I think is how that works. So those items go together very wonderfully. There's even a shield later on that will get that boosts, I think, attack and defense a smidge when you're also below 20%. So all that stuff goes in hand, and it makes your defenses pretty high. It makes that last 20% of your health go really far. There's probably a viable builds that use all of those things. I've been tempted to do a build that uses all of those things. I just haven't. Mostly because the armor set's medium, and I don't know what I would actually use weapon-wise, but it's interesting to say the least. So here is our tarnished fellow that we were warned about. And he's cooking up a bunch of, it looks like lobsters. Maybe they're crawdads or something like that, but they're in that family, right? He's cooking them up. He is wearing a heavy iron mask of some kind. Maybe it's not iron, but a heavy metal mask. So he's a prisoner. He kind of looks like our prisoner archetype that we could have started as. So let's see what he has to say.
What are you looking at? You trying to start something, mate?
So as soon as we talk to him, he is instantly aggressive in his speech. But we can ask, hey, give me the necklace.
Ah, that necklace what you're after, is it? Well, show me what it's worth to you, and I'll consider parting ways with it. I'm not in love with it or nothing.
All right, and let's deal with him.
You're a shrewd one, Chief. First, you hand me the runes, and don't try nothing, neither.
And we have the option to purchase from him. So let's take a look and see what he has to sell. Okay, let's see here. Raya's necklace. Necklace stolen from Raya by the Blackguard. Features a relief of a dignified-looking woman from a foreign country. It appears to hold great significance for Raya. It kind of looks like her a little bit. Just a smidge. It's definitely got the coat and maybe the hair, but this could be perhaps Raya's mother. It could be Raya's mistress. We don't know who this is exactly, but it looks like her. So we'll buy it. And we'll leave.
All right. Take it. Thing's no damn use to anyone anyway. Your bloody idea, mate. Don't come crying to me later.
So he started off hostile, and he still seems a tad grouchy, but he seems surprised that we didn't try to take the upper hand. He said, don't try nothing, right? He was expecting us to double-cross him. Well, let's talk to him again.
Oh, piss off. What is it now? Oh, I see. You want some of me prawn? Freshly cooked it is. All right then. It's yours. If you can meet me price. I could be persuaded to sell you some other bits too. If you've got the runes.
So we can purchase prawns from him, and doing so changes his disposition towards us, so we'll buy some. You only need to buy like one. And honestly, changing disposition means you just get a little extra dialogue. So let's talk to him now that we've bought some prawn.
You're tarnished too, ain't you? Can you see it then? The guidance of grace, I mean. I can't see it at all no more. Makes no bloody sense anyway. Why some no-name shithead like me should get called to the lands between. Cruel bloody joke, you ask me. Maybe something went tits with it. Maybe it's been broke for a good long time. The tree, I'm saying.
And there goes my PG rating, thanks. Well, it was probably lost with Godric the Grafted anyways, but now we have language to worry about. But he's probably the only character who curses in a conventional manner to what we understand. And we can ask about Raya.
Oh. So you met the girl, did you? Alright, well, sod the particulars of the matter. But it ain't my fault she's stupid enough to get duped, is it? Anyway, she ain't alright, that one. Lucky she ain't died on the bloody roadside, I reckon.
So he says she's been duped. Raya describes him as a ruffian, so we don't know if it was like an armed robbery or if maybe something else more silly happened, like he traded her some prawns for the necklace. We don't know. But he says duped, and perhaps he did rob her, right? We don't know. That's what it seems to tend towards, or that's what it seems to be. I'm going to believe that for now, that he has robbed her of the necklace. And let's leave now.
Never met someone with a taste for prawn I couldn't trust. We'd make good mates, I reckon. I'll be seeing you.
But after buying prawns, that's the way he says goodbye to us, and we get to spread him out. So he seems far more cheery to us. Let's talk to him one more time.
Marika's tits. You must be hungry.
Here we are.
Marika's.
Yep. So now he's fairly friendly towards us. We've essentially bought our way into an understanding with him. We bought the necklace, we bought the prawns, we weren't hostile, we were straightforward and honest, and though he was guarded at first, he seems to have relinquished a little bit of that guard. And he reckons that we could be great friends since, heck, he hasn't met anybody with a taste for prawns that he hasn't liked. And the prawns are a really good item, right? I think they're wonderful. There's a better version of them called boiled crab that we'll get later, but these ones, boiled prawn meat, a prime specimen of plump and moist meat. True connoisseurs know how to keep from over-salting. Boosts physical damage negation for a certain duration. The meat actually looks to have come from a crayfish. Not that it matters, it's delicious all the same. So, yeah, looking at it, it looks like he caught a crayfish and he was calling it a prawn. Maybe prawns are what he's used to where he's from, or maybe he's not that educated. We're not certain. Well, let's give Raya her necklace back.
The thug should be resting at an abandoned home down the way. Please, I must have the necklace back.
And let's give her her necklace.
Oh, yes. That is my missing necklace. Thank you kindly. I am in your debt. Did I forget to announce myself? I am Raya, in the service of Lady Tanith of the Volcano Manor. I seek stalwart Tarnished, who might join our house. You are very brave yourself. Not only a steady hand, but a steady heart. Merciless, even to your own kind. Such strength is precisely what my mistress seeks. Please, take this.
So she says we're stalwart and that we are strong and able to combat even fellow Tarnished. It seems that Raya has thought that we would go and fight Blackguard Bogart and take the necklace, kill him for it, and deliver it to her. This was a test, but we didn't do that at all. We reasoned with him. We chatted with him. We found common ground, gave him what we wanted, or gave him what he wanted, and he gave us what we wanted, and we came to a pretty friendly end there. Raya may not know that. Raya probably assumes we killed the poor fellow or defeated him in some capacity.
Brave Tarnished, seek the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. Most Tarnished are doomed to wander the outskirts of the lands between, peering wistfully at the towering Erd Tree. But you are no ordinary Tarnished. And once that is proven, the Volcano Manor will fully extend its invitation to fight amongst a family of champions.
There we go. So we will be permitted to join a family of champions at Volcano Manor. And it seems that part of what they do is they confront Tarnished. What their ideals are or which type of Tarnished they're confronting, we are not entirely certain. But where is that dastardly letter? Maybe it's in the later part of the inventory. It is. There it is. All right. Letter given by Rhea as thanks for retrieving her necklace. Contains an invitation to Volcano Manor. Brave Tarnish, seek the Altus Plateau in the realm of the Erd Tree. Prove yourself by making this journey, and the Volcano Manor will fully extend its invitation to fight amongst a family of champions. So this is like a preemptive invitation. It's not the real one, but it's getting there, which is very silly to say the least. Alright, so we're good to investigate more of the central lake. We still have some time. I believe there is a little landmass over here. Relatively close. It's protected by a bunch of albinurics, actually. And they have a bowl here with a dexterity knot crystal here. I think we have all of them now. Here it is. Yep, we have all of the mix-ins that do 10 to a stat. So, very nice to have. Next up on our agenda, we're going to go to the very edge of the Academy Gate town. Which would be nice, because I think the map is over there, so here we see the sunken remains of the town. Albinurics. We saw Albinurics back there, actually. I think I can fight an Albinuric over here, actually. I don't think I've fought these Albinurics, so I probably overshot. Yeah. We'll just make our way to the town. We'll see plenty of Albinurics going through it anyways. And I am curious to know if I have the weapons on me. There they are. Okay. So here we have the Grace, the obelisk that has the Liurnian map north. So now we have the central area. That's a nice completed looking map. Look at that. And let's read its description while we have it. Is this the northern Liurnia region? I guess it is. Funny how east and west are of course the east and west parts of the lake, but Liurnia north is the middle. Kind of funny. The Academy of Rhea Lucaria towers over the north, while at its base spreads the town built around it, now flooded. 2 high roads end their journeys here. This and the hut in particular, though, this is not really lore, it just happens, are very popular PvP spots. I don't know why. Probably for people doing lightning builds. There's an arena. There's a proper place to do 1v1 fights. It feels like people who want a slight edge against invaders. So, here we have Albinurics. I will show them off briefly. But these ones in particular have clubs, it looks like. And they don't look like the other Albinurics, right? Those ones didn't have functioning legs. These ones do have functioning legs. These ones have very swollen features, very frog-like, right? But they're quite acrobatic compared to their counterparts, the older ones, the ones with no legs, both the old men and the Latenna-shaped women. There is a steeple over here with an item on it. Magic grease. I believe we are good to head over here. There's a little flower there. Huh. Perhaps I'm mistaken. There's normally a person over here, I thought, for us to talk to. Oh boy, am I turned around? I don't want to actually go hunting for him. Goodness. Well, I will head to another part of the map over here. While we're here anyways. I think this is it here. This rock. No, it's just north of us. I was close. Here it is. Loads of land squirts. And a grave with the land squirt ashes. Wow. The worst ashes I could think of. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell. Summoning consumes HP rather than FP. These spirits appear some distance from the summoner. The firm, fleshy tubes of the creature remain rooted to one spot, spraying poisonous liquid all over their surroundings. There's another albinuric. Trina lilies. Well, now I'm on the hunt for that NPC I wanted to talk to. That's so weird. I swear he appeared on one of these mounds. I must be just over to the east a little too much. I don't want to waste too much time on this. I might have to... I hope I don't have to cut. This shouldn't end up like the Yura incident. Abysmal as that was. Oh, there he is. Okay, I should have known. So he was farther over here, not over here. My map was wrong. That's what I get for making my own map.
No, Lanya. It's me, Dialos. Answer me, would you?
So Dialos has found his tomboyish maidservant Lanya. And she is in poor condition, and he's hoping that she is responsive. But he is beside himself with grief.
Hello, friend. Tell me if you know, would you? The whereabouts of the hidden house of those despicable fiends. The recusants who hunt their fellow tarnished. They laid hands upon my servant Lanya, and I refused to let the insult stand. The tale of House Hoslo is told in blood. I, Dialos, swear to deliver the message.
So he gives us a hint. He calls the people at Volcano Manor recusants who hunt their own tarnished. I think he mentioned Volcano Manor. I hope he did.
They laid hands upon my servant Lanya, and I refused to let the insult stand. The tale of how
Either way, the only recusant that we've met that I remember is Henricus, who was the invader outside of the Limgrave Coliseum. Yeah, the Limgrave Coliseum. And recusant Henricus invaded us and attempted to kill us.
They laid hand the tale
Okay. And he promises he will mete out justice upon them. So let's go back to the Academy Gate Town. And let's see here. We still have like 6 or 7 minutes. So let's clear out the Gate Town. Why not? Okay. So we have a handful of things we want to loot on quick. And then I will look at those items that I pulled out of the chest. Because the Albinurks wield them. In fact, there's another one I probably should have pulled out. I think I'll do it now while I'm thinking about it. And here we see Grace again. And this time it's pointing us... It looks like past the academy. Not really directly towards it. Kind of interesting. Sort by type. I'll probably have a better time finding it then. Do I already have it in my repertoire? I should, but I am blind, it seems. Did I never pick it up? That's curious to me. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. let's take a moment. I'm gonna go find out if I left it somewhere, the item I was supposed to pick up. Hello, hello. We are back at the Saints Bridge in Limgrave, and I realized I didn't go over here. There's a dungeon down there with the item I was just looking for. So we're gonna rush down there and do the dungeon as quickly as possible. Because there's actually a fairly good item in there that we want pretty badly. And a lore-related item I can't believe I've missed. Feels bad. I swear I thought I did this dungeon. And had I even entered the dungeon, it would have had an icon appear on the map, right? But there's no icon. I haven't gone in here on this character, and I thought I had. It's the High Road Cave, and it's a dungeon that's pretty easy to miss. I recommend coming here, though, because there is an item in here that you can throw on just about any build. And it's growing on me. I'm learning to like it more and more. We'll try to go fast. But we don't have a whole lot of time. I might have to end the episode here, and then we'll really investigate the gate town. Or maybe we'll go long, who knows. Dogs. Nothing too perplexing here. There's a hole over there that we ran past. A level 1 golden rune, not worth it. Oh, come on. There we go. Nice thing about cliffs is that if you wouldn't live falling off of them, the game won't let you attack off of them. So, keeps me alive in my stupidity. Nothing here. It's not too terribly lore heavy of a cave, which I was kind of worried about. I thought I might have come to this cave and actually missed talking about a little lore thing I learned after the fact concerning this particular cave. So we see supplies down here, barrels, construction. It's not just a cave sequence with wolves, weirdly enough. But wolves somehow got down that pit, which is kind of perplexing. But these Limgrave enemies don't stand much of a chance. Bonk. Okay. Okay. And here, it changes dramatically. We see ruins that kind of look like Dynast ruins, just a smidge, but I don't think they are. They might be ruins from something else. Actually, they kind of resemble the pillars used on the, like, the ruined fragments of great bridges that we saw, like, on the edges of Limgrave and the Weeping Peninsula. They looked kind of like the Great Bridge, and they signified a much larger network of highways that are no longer even remotely close to operable. Really old ones. That's what these look like. Oh, I don't know what he dropped, but it's gone now. In fact, now is an opportunity for me to show off the Golem Great Bow. Why not? Because if you get their arrows, which drop from the bow-wielding one... Oh, I can't shoot down that far. That's funny. Yeah, it has a little area of effect, this particular arrow, which makes it very nice. I'm doing jump because it cuts down the animation just a smidge. It hits really hard. Harder than we probably need. Oh, smithing stone. I'll be using more of these in time. Just trying to go fast. These enemies don't drop nothing, really. I mean, I'm getting lots of hard runes and money, so might as well. Well, not lots. I'm getting some. And you jump off this carefully to this. Jump off the waterfall carefully down here. And here we get the Shamshear. That was what I was looking for, was the Shamshear. And we can do a jump attack for him. Wow, that does good damage. He's stuck. He's having a miserable time. Is it the fire? Poor thing. I do so hate to see a giant bat monster suffer, so I put them down so that they might not suffer anymore. Okay. Let's use this. Why not? Oh, and when we finally get down here, we see Kaiden soldiers with their dismounters. Mercenaries working for Godric. What is down here that Godric wanted it? It's not a strategic position. I took off his tentacle there. There we go. That's why I like the Troll Knight sword. It's one of the colossal swords that has a lunge attack for its heavy, which I think is a good. Very good. Okay. But yeah, there's Kaiden sellswords down here. Right? And they had set up some stuff. There's supplies that we saw earlier in the cave. What were they holding out here for? Should probably take a look at the Shamshir since it seems to be a part of the set. So here's the Shamshir, right? Curved sword with a thin blade of ample length, light of weight despite its larger size. Its slicing attacks come in rapid succession, a devastatingly powerful weapon in the hands of a skilled swordsman. And sure enough, it has its own unique attack pattern of these long sweeping attacks, or these flowing sweeping attacks, I should say. As a result, its two-handed pattern is very popular amongst dex and strength builds alike. You could probably get it to work on magic builds. Has a relatively low requirement, 7 strength, 13 dex. And because it hits fast and has its own unique pattern, a lot of people like to use it. A lot of people in physical builds will actually get rot grease and slap it on there while slapping repeatedly. So even if they're getting ghost hits on other players who are dodging, and a ghost hit is where you hit them in the middle of their dodge, so you deal no damage when it makes a noise, then they'll use this and just accrue status on their enemies. But it seems that the Kaiden soldiers were down here for something. What that something is, we don't quite know, but we will find out. So in this room, we see more of these ruins. Sure enough, they look like the bridges that we see outside. And it's got these big ol' halberd. We troll roar. I don't know why that did like 177 damage. It seems a little low for the yell. Shucks. There we go. That seems a little bit better. And then we go get a critical hit on this golem. Oh, he's gone. He's dead. Blue Dancer Charm. So, Blue Dancer Charm kind of looks like the warrior starting class, the one with the blue robes. And we haven't found their kit yet, but I'll bring it back up when we find it. But they started with the 2 scimitars and the riveted small shield. And their whole ethos is that they're based off of a blind warrior who is a master swordsman. So let's take a look at that talisman. A cloth doll depicting a dancer garbed in blue, an ancient heirloom of some sort. Raises attack power with lower equipment load. So the lower your equip load, the more damage that this thing gives you. So people were essentially naked and then have very lightweight weapons or spellcasting implements. They'll throw this on their build because it's free damage. And if you're not wearing armor anyways, you might as well be a glass cannon. The dancer in blue represents a fairy who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient god. A god that was rot itself. And we've heard about a god of rot. But not a god of rot. I believe we've heard about a goddess of rot. According to myth, these butterflies were once the wings of the goddess of rot herself. So we've heard about the god of rot and the goddess of rot. Right? Rot is that salmon color. And it's kind of interesting that it talks about a dancer blue represents a fairy who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient god, a god that was rot itself. And I think we learn a little bit more about this from the maps, if I'm not mistaken. Two great rivers flow beneath the lands between the Siofra and the Ainsel. This vast region is said to be the grave of civilizations that flourished before the Erd Tree. So that's not it. It must be something depicted on the armor set itself. I'm just not remembering it currently. We don't have the armor set right now. Well, actually, I think I have it stored away for that from that episode 0. So let's go take a look at that real fast. So maybe that'll give us a little more of a hint about what is going on with this thing. All right. Blue cloth cowl. The blue color of its fabric symbolizes brisk waters, as fluid flowing as the sword in the hand of its wearer. Just as still waters turn foul, stagnation leads to decay, warriors must remain ever drifting. I don't think these say anything different, unfortunately. Nope. They do not presently. But still, there's some sort of connection between the Blue Dancer charm, the blind swordsman, the rivers underground, and them leading to the River of Rot. That big red river we saw when we entered over here underground. That big rotten river. So it seems the blind swordsman sealed away the god of Rot. But we also see these butterflies that hint at a goddess of Rot. So has the god of Rot changed forms? Rot's kind of like that. It is a life unto itself, if gross. Eating away at stuff around it to feed itself. It is a form of life. But anyway, so that was my little tangent. Because, and I want to finish this silly thought, and this episode's running a little long as a result. But there are Albinaurics in this gate town, the Academy Gate town, who wield... where is it? I'm going to find one, and then I'll finish my thought. Slay the crabs. Okay. Okay, so it's the ones up here. The rest are wearing clubs. So if we get up here, we see that that one has the Ripple Sword, that they have their own unique Albinauric shields. Some have Ripple Halberds, and that one up there has a Shamshir. Let's get closer. Oh, he has a Shamshir, see? His is huge, though. Arteria Leaf. And this one casts little frost magics. Ooh, that worked pretty well. Oh, Ripple Crescent Halberd. So the Ripple weapons, the Crescent Halberd and the Axe, very good for pure arcane builds. Because just looking at them, these silly weapons have A scaling in arcane, S on the Halberd at +8, right? So even at +8, and I think they go all the way to +25, they have excellent scaling with arcane. And their damage is alright. What really makes them notable, though, is that because they have innate arcane scaling, that means that they get status buildup. Really good status buildup. But you're probably asking, hey, they don't have status buildup innately, right? Right. But because they are standard weapons, you can grease them up. So if you can grease them with sleep or bleed or poison, and because they have really high arcane scaling inherently, it will have a multiplicative effect on those greases. So we see that the Albinaurics are wielding Shamshirs, right? We see that they are wielding Ripple Blade Axes. Well, it says that this is a sword, but it has an axe attack pattern, so that's why I call it a Ripple Blade Axe. And the Ripple Crescent Halberd, right? And they're wielded by young Albinaurics. Just like these curved clubs, which are for Albinaurics lacking dexterity, and the curved grit clubs, which we will see on large Albinaurics that we will see later. So, they have all these weapons, and they have the Albinauric shield. Tall oval shield made of metal carried by young Albinaurics. The ornamentation represents the primordial drop of dew, from which they are said to have been created. Boasts exceptional magic damage negation. The Albinaurics' most formidable foes were sorcerers after all. So it seems funny that after the Academy Gate Town fell, the Albinaurics came to reside here. And I just found a cookbook. This one, which lets us make magic pots, roped magic pots, and shield grease. So we can make a grease to apply to our shields to buff its defenses. Okay. All right. This episode has gone on long enough. I think we will cut just over here around the corner. But we will finish the gate town next time and then continue onwards. Yeah. We will cut by this sapling here because I don't want to forget this tasty item. Another golden seed, of which now we have 3. I wonder if that's enough to give us another flask. We might be to the range where we need them in sets of 4. Oh well. That's a lot of rambling. This was a long episode. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a good one. I want to see you next time for episode 47, I believe. Bye-bye now.